I
Good, buddy.
am at 24 South Market Street at WAGS, which has been an institution in Frederick for more than 40 years with a new look on the future. New owners, Dave Schmidt and Carlo Serio, have taken over WAGS. Well, welcome to Good Morning, Frederick.
Welcome to Wags.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yes, have been here many times actually, pre your ownership, and I'm sure many more after. You guys really have done well so far in the takeover, which is just January this year.
Mhm.
And I was working with John previous to you guys taking over, and I know it was he really wanted somebody who was going to take WAGs into the future, but kind of keep what makes WAGs amazing.
Well, I think that Wags is just such an important part of Frederick, just the history of Frederick. I can't imagine, I don't know Frederick without Wags. And from somebody who grew up around here, I couldn't imagine it going away. And so when it was time for John to retire, and he put up a listing, I know that there were lots of people that love Wags, wanted the space for business purposes. But for us, it's really a continuation of a legacy. And Carlo happens to have a lot of experience and is very good at running restaurants. So we also have some acumen inside the space. But
Right.
Especially for me, this is where when I was, let's say, 21 years old and 22 and
Let's say
23,
21. Yeah.
and I was in Frederick, and this is where it was such a center of the community.
Yeah.
And it kind of stuck through. COVID was hard for everyone,
Sure.
especially for restaurants. And so many of the spaces downtown and around the community put some kind of space between the tables and between the people. And as anyone and the many, many people that come and join us here know, that's not possible in WAGs. You are a foot and a half away from somebody else, no matter where you are. And that is something that's kind of very rare.
Yeah.
And it survived through COVID. And now we are celebrating that kind of continued legacy by really not changing anything. You put some doorknobs on the bathrooms.
Yeah, very small changes like creature comforts and a couple like new menu items to like balance out the lack of non-red meat options.
Yeah.
That was like a big thing we heard. So we added like a portobello Philly. So we have like a vegetarian option that's delicious
nice.
and amazing.
Try that.
But for us, I think it was really important, and for John, that everybody stayed on board. So
Yeah.
the staff is the same, and that's part of what makes WAGs feel like WAGs still.
Yeah. And what I love is that a lot of people say that, and then as soon as they come in, they just
Right.
kind of disregard it just
Right.
to get through. But you guys have literally gone to the people
Mhm.
and made sure that the things you have changed. Again, so minor that if you don't come here all the time, you probably wouldn't notice.
Mhm.
But at the same time, they are the advisory board, I guess to say.
We have a very vocal sounding board in
Yeah.
front of us, right across the bar.
Yeah.
That any change
Oh,
that
trust me,
we
yeah.
think about or come up, we go, all right, let's take it to the committee first and kind of see what it is. And that's really not just the patrons, but the staff as well.
Sure.
We had come in for really a month and a half, 2 months before the sale, and just said, hey, we're just here to help and let's learn, because they've been here 43 years.
Right.
We're not going to teach them anything about how to operate in this space and give good service to people or anything like that. We can't teach them that. We need to learn how they've been successful at that period of time. And then, yeah, to your point, the tiny little tweaks, this offer is a little different. And, we've added, some cards and some drink menu and stuff, and just, a little bit more of like, hey, here's the options we have,
Right.
and communicate them a little bit differently. But it all looks the same. It all staying the same.
Yeah. Yeah, we love that so much. When you decided to do this and kind of signed on the bottom line, you've been in restaurants a long time, Carlo,
Mhm.
and you've been in business a long time and here in Frederick your whole life. Like, what is your hope for the next 40 years for WAGs?
I think to try and keep it very similar.
Yeah.
While Frederick is changing so much, there's been like so many restaurants downtown that have turned over, changed ownership, changed concepts. We want WAGs to stay consistent, even as the whole landscape of downtown changes a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, one of the biggest kind of examples, La Paz, right? So but my whole life was La
Mhm.
Paz. And to have that building closing and opening as something different, no shade on Salt and Vine, I'm sure they're wonderful.
Mhm.
It's just sad.
Mhm.
Firestones.
exactly it.
It's sad.
Right.
Like it's like you just kind of feel like you've lost a little piece of something in your childhood or the past. Wags is it's so great that
Mhm.
it's going to continue. Best burger in Frederick, I think, bar none, for like 50 years, even though you've only been around 42
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
And you can kind of see behind us. I mean, best chili
Yeah.
as well. I mean, just lots of awards, lots of things, and just a reminder to everybody: none of that's changing. It's literally the same human beings with the same recipe making the exact same thing.
Yeah,
I am nowhere near the kitchen.
yeah,
And Carlo knows how to cook, and
Yeah.
he may be involved, but I'm nowhere near.
yeah.
No worries, everyone. And it's the exact same thing. The only thing again, we're just communicating with the staff and with the team and with our wonderful regulars and everyone that comes in here. And it's not just the bar team, but it's like the people that come every Thursday,
Sure.
the couple that comes, or people that drive an hour and a half every week to come and have the
I
burger.
love that.
So we say, hey, look, this bun's a little like this. What about this one? And what do you guys think? And just trying to get that feedback because to the point about La Paz and Firestones and all these things going away, the building could be the same, the name could be the same, the walls could be the same, and it could go away if we change kind of the core
100%.
way that we think and everyone thinks about it. But really, it's the team. I mean, that's, to me, it's the continuation has nothing to do with us. It has to do with their willingness to say, all right, this is a whole new world after decades and decades of one kind of management style and one kind of ownership style.
Yeah.
And for them to say, all right, let's do it and make it happen and be a part of it was it's just such a, we really appreciate it. I mean, I want to speak for you, but
Yeah, it would have been impossible without the staff.
Yeah. And now I was talking with Dave and found out about kind of the history of the two of you becoming friends, being thrown together on a river, literally,
Yeah.
and becoming friends, 15 years ago or so.
Mm-hmm.
What is it like now in business? This is your first business together.
Yeah.
So far, so good, I'm assuming.
how are we doing, buddy?
It's a nightmare. No, it's been great.
Yeah.
It's really nice to work with somebody who you're on the same page with and that you can rely on all the time. You know, if you drop a ball, they're going to catch it. And it's awesome. It's been great.
I mean, I think too, like you guys had such a history before as friends. It's not as if you're kind of throwing everything together and trying to figure things out. But, I know Dave's got a lot of marketing experience. You obviously, Carlo, have a lot of restaurant experience. I think marrying those two things together is great.
Yeah, and I think we're like playing to each other's strengths. Like we're focusing on the things we're good at and kind of dividing tasks and responsibilities. And I think that's the easiest way to do it and make it smooth.
Yeah, I in any kind of business, trust is really important.
Yeah.
And, we spent a decade and a half building that ahead of time in friendship. So it's kind of we've answered all the questions of how do we deal with conflict and get through things because we care about each other. So it's like that's all that matters. So then there are certainly unique things that have come up, but I will say, and just to take a little bit of, it's pretty cool to like own something that is such a community, a piece of the community, but also builds a little community where it's people, in, that kind of cheers feel of where you walk in and you say, hey guys, and now we're walking down the street or walking in and everybody's like, oh, it's Carlo, oh, it's Dave. And to be kind of together and doing that thing where it's like both of us as friends is very cool. Like
it
I cannot.
It is cool. And like you and I were saying, always with some of your good friends, you say, oh, wouldn't it be great too?
Right.
And now you guys are marking that off. And now you become a part of not only Frederick's history, but certainly the history in Wags, which is really, really kind of cool.
But I'm telling you, and we'll repeat this probably 100 times, but it goes back to like we are in this interview in the face of this thing on some level in the paper, et cetera, because it's a change, but day in, day out from 10 a.m. to
whenever
midnight, 1 or 2 a.m., depending on how much Frederick wants to have a drink that night. The team is here doing the same thing they've been doing all that time. Yeah. And just, our job is just support, right? We just are bringing a set of skills from previous businesses in to say, your job is difficult in this area. Well, we can figure out a little way to do it that's what we do. So it's kind of, for me, I love solving puzzles. That's
Yes,
the thing I love doing. That's my favorite thing in the world. And so all it is this wonderful place that is filled with wonderful people and wonderful team that I get to walk in, and there's like little puzzles to solve that I get to solve with my best friend.
Yeah.
So that's like,
I mean, who
it's pretty
would
cool.
want it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Who would not want that?
Yeah.
Well, if you've never been to WAG, shame on you. You've had 40 some years.
We
to
didn't
do
say
it.
that. She said
Right,
that.
I did. Shame on you for sure. You gotta come check it out because it's the most unique restaurant in all of Frederick for sure.
Absolutely.
You gotta go downstairs,
Yes.
below the surface of Market Street, really, to see WAG's. Right across from the old Landis Jewelers, if you've been around for a
Mhm.
long time, the florist, and right near the creek, WAG's. I know you guys are going to continue much longer than 1981, the start.
At
of
least
this.
another 43 years.
Another 43 years. We hope so for sure. Come down and see WAG's. Any specials or anything going on? Like I'd love to try that portobello.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
So we just actually submitted our application for a sidewalk cafe.
Nice.
And I think we've just finished staffing up to open on Sunday. So both of those big changes are coming soon.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah.
So gotta watch social media.
Social media,
I'm
yeah.
assuming, to find out all about that. We love sitting out on the streets here in Frederick.
And
People
our specials, so Carlo is posting every week on Facebook. That's probably the best ways to get it. What the specials are going to be each day. So that way you
Okay.
can kind of look at, because we keep it on our menu, but you have to physically get in here
Yeah.
and take a look at it.
Yeah.
So that way you can kind of plan your WAG's
Yeah.
visit.
Well, maybe trying something other than the great burgers, or maybe
Right.
because I'm the worst at that. If I like something, I always get it. But sometimes
And
it's
I'm
good
the
to
same.
Try
So
something
Creatures
new.
of habit, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the burgers are amazing. We lose a lot of people to the steak and cheese, the cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it is tremendous. And I think my favorite thing, I think I have to say my favorite thing is the burger. So my second favorite thing is the Reuben.
Oh,
It
okay.
is, I think
Reuben's
it's the
killer.
best Reuben, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
See, you got some things to try at WAG's, and check them out on social media, and you can see all the specials that are coming each week. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming in.
Annie.